People have asked me, like, why and what motivated me to start this Dear Dad podcast, The Caribbean Experience. And truthfully, it was born out of my journey of healing, and I call it reconstruction. I guess everybody goes through a lot of things in their life, and from it, you could either grow or you could either digress. I count myself fortunate as being the one who grew. So, for starters, my name is Christophe Brathwaite. I'm the host and founder of the Dear Dad podcast and project, The Caribbean Experience. And my story is, I guess, one that you've probably heard many times before, because a lot of these projects and have been created out of vibration or out of an event in your life. So I am not isolated in this particular instance, but my story is one that is over a number of years, not only becoming a father, but also traversing, getting to know myself as a human being. Again, the podcast and where I'm at now, which I know today is my purpose. I said think because it was a thinking process to get here, trying to piece together all the different pieces of the puzzle that happened over the course of my life. So I had to sit and think about it, if this was truly my purpose. And the answer I came up with is yes. And that because, again, mentioning this particular puzzle and the different pieces. So in my childhood experiences, and being able to work my way out of the trauma of those childhood experiences and the trauma in different relationships too as well, and then culminating into my daughter Isabella and that relationship there as well. Putting all those things together, the Facebook posts of Chronicles of Izzy from the day she was born, to things like writing articles about the parenting experiences, persons privately messaging me and asking me for advice on how to father a daughter and what was I doing right and what I was doing wrong, all led to me being here. It wasn't an easy journey because I guess my character is one of those characters that burn to learn, and even if the pot is on the fire and you're watching that flame on it, you still will and touch the pot. So I had to come out of that particular fire. I never stayed in any fire because I think that's one of the characteristics that my parents taught me, that don't stand up any fire, walk through it. I am able to speak to you right now and be able to create this particular platform that has to do with men's emotional awareness, healing, parenting, fatherhood, that kind of thing. Something that very much needed in Trinidad and Tobago and the wider Caribbean diaspora all around the world, I think, because men just don't have a space to do this particular activity. So that's why I'm here. A lot of mistakes on the way, but I was very, very sure at the end of all of this that this is what I wanted to do, and this was my purpose. The instant that brought me here was, I'm not very proud of it, but it had to do with my relationship with my daughter. And at one point in time, I can't remember the exact topic that we were on, but it had to do with her saying something that I think I didn't say. Up to today, I still think that, but when you're in a stressful environment, a stressful position, you're not exactly sure sometimes what happens. And sometimes your mind, it creates, realities and makes you think that you did or say something and you never really said it, or vice versa. You said it and then you think to yourself, no, I did not say that. One of those instances, yeah. The topic is not really important, but what was important is that Isabella got the F-bomb, you know? And this was the first time I sweared at my daughter. And it made me realize after that, it was jolted me, because at least I know that is not within my character, and that is not the Christophe that you know. That's not the father that you know. And so I had to take stock in myself. I did apologize for it. She gave me the little grim face, you know. But still, we could know, obviously, because the bond between us is very, very strong. There's nothing that could break that bond. We love each other deeply and dearly. But it made me realize that I was not in control of me and I needed help. And so I quickly dialed up a friend that I know who is a psychologist, and she referred me to another friend of her who's a psychologist too. And that was the beginning of my therapy. Now, I've been to therapy sessions before, in the past to deal with many different things, trauma and relationship breaking up and that kind of thing. But this one was different. Usually because of my academic background, so to speak, I usually have not much faith in the therapist, and because a lot of the things that they say to me, I've already heard or already read somewhere in some book or something like that. But this one was different. Um, and also, I think I was more humble to accept what this particular therapist was saying to me and what clicked. And I share this testimony. Regardless, I share this testimony to people who ask me about my therapy session and stuff and where it goes and how it is and that kind of thing, especially my male friends. And I say, look, listen, um, this is the best thing that can happen to you, to be able to look into yourself, to see you, to see what's going on in you, and to also challenge yourself to be a better person and to understand yourself. It's about personal growth. And I remember she asking me to do a simple exercise, and I'll share this testimony with you. She said, list all the things, Christophe, that you love about the person, because I think I started off on the footing that I think it was the breakup that caused all this trauma and stuff like that, right? But it was, I mean, again, it's not my first breakup, but I think I wanted to heal from that point of view, because in my mind, it was very serious. So she said, list out all the things that you like about this person. And I listed this, that. I think must be reached about 12 or 14 or something like that, something ridiculous like that. And she said, stop. She said, Christophe, list one thing. She said, list all the things that you like about yourself. And I was stumped AF. I was so stumped. I was like, there was this dead silence and I couldn't list not even one. And so our journey began with my self-worth and realizing that I didn't love myself. Even when I was out there, had lots of friends and the life of the party, and I'm looking happy, I used to be pouring into lots of people and not pouring into myself. And that's where the journey began for me. So out of that, I think I looked at the puzzle of my life and I saw the different pieces. And those pieces came together to form what I think my purpose truly was and what I didn't see before. And that was this particular skill set that I have with people. And that people gravitate towards me, and I have some knowledge and that kind of thing about parenting to bring it all together to create the Dear Dad podcast, the Caribbean Experience. And a big part of it too as well is about positive masculinity and healing. And from the things that I've learned, I want to share that, and I want to be a pathway or gateway to the resources that men can use to achieve that self-healing, because we're all work in progress. I haven't not gotten to the promised land yet. I am still work in progress too as well. And I invite all my friends and all the other males out there who are willing to be work in progress men, to heal and to achieve that emotional awareness, to achieve that positive masculinity, to step forward and join me on this journey, because we want to build a community, and we want to build this community that we could help others, so that we have a resource, so that we can break this silence that we men have with regard to all the above. So that's my story, and this is where my journey begins.